I have over 500 hours in Satisfactory, and for some of you guys watching this video, you may think that that is a decent amount of time to have in the game, but I'm assuming for a lot of you guys probably understand Satisfactory in the grand scheme of things, 500 hours really isn't all that much. In my last video, I talked about factory and automation games and why I think they're the most addicting game genre. In this video, we're going to be talking about why I think specifically Satisfactory is the most addicting factory and automation game in the market. If you guys like factory and automation games or Satisfactory specifically, make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel. You guys absolutely killed the support on the last video. That was so awesome. When I released the video, we had 2 subscribers and now we're like in the mid 60s, which is absolutely crazy. So if you guys keep smashing that subscribe button and the like button, I'll keep cranking out some content for you guys. With all that said, let's hop into my first point why I think Satisfactory is such an addicting game. One of Satisfactory's most unique features and one of the things that really makes it stand out compared to all the other games in the genre is its really robust building system. In most factory and automation games, you just kind of build your factory and that's it. You can't really build anything around it. Where in Satisfactory, that's one of the big pillars of the game is building. I usually find myself building a big factory first, and then around it I'll build a really cool looking building based on what kind of theme I'm going for. And I've even seen some people in Satisfactory just build the build, like they just build a skyscraper. They don't have any like machines or anything in it, but they just build a skyscraper, which is really cool because you can build things that are functional and also just non-functional just to look cool. Once you get all the different items from the fix-it shop and stuff, you guys can build some really intricate builds. And funnily enough, a factory and automation game is also one of my favorite building games. It also allows you to build some really cool things around the infrastructure in your world. For example, like power plants and train lines. Like building a big train station could look really awesome, and also decorating like your power plants or your fuel or coal power plants. They honestly look really cool. It's something that you don't have to do, but if you just want to take those extra steps to do that, it just looks freaking awesome. And that's another thing about the building in Satisfactory. None of it is mandatory. You guys can have spaghetti conveyors going all over the place and having none of your factories actually like in an actual like building or anything. You guys don't even have to use freaking foundations. So technically, yeah, your factories could just be, you know, spaghetti all over the place, but I think the majority of people do like to keep it nice and condensed and possibly even just build around it like I do. Yeah, I think the number one reason why Satisfactory is just so good is because of the building, but that's not all we're going to talk about in this video. We're going to be talking about a few other things that make this game so amazing. Moving into our number 2 point here for today's video is going to be 100% optimizing everything in your world, whether that be in your actual factory itself or your actual power plants, like your coal power plant, like just making sure that each individual generator has enough coal going into it and all your splitters and everything are perfectly aligned so that everything is at 100% efficiency. And honestly, that's something that can take quite a bit of time in your world. For some reason, when I'm early on in a world, I don't really seem to go for 100% efficiency on everything. I just hook up some different lines and just make sure that things are at least producing at a decent rate, but not 100% efficiency. Then later on, once my world gets more established, I go around, make sure everything's running 100% efficiency, because once you get going, power and stuff like that gets a little bit more harder to manage and stuff, so you want to make sure that everything is using the least amount of power that it can. And honestly, for some of the later game recipes and stuff like that, making sure everything is 100% efficient is so difficult because you have so many different things going into different assemblers and manufacturers. Like the base components that you guys are making are so far away from the final product, and there's so many different things that it needs to go through and all the math that you guys need to do. For some reason, I just really enjoy that kind of stuff. I'm assuming you guys probably do too. Like just working your way through all the different math of how things are going to convert into bigger, more complicated things. It's just a really fun process. And I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you know about websites like Satisfactory Calculator, where you can plug in a different output of like how many you want. Like let's say you want 10 encased industrial beams every minute, then it will show you all the different things that you need before that, so you guys don't have to do any guessing or anything like that. It just makes everything really easy. Just a little nugget of information. If you guys aren't using a website like that, it is very useful when you guys are doing very big projects. But yeah, the overall optimization and making everything efficient and satisfactory is really fun, especially because it's a 3D game, and if you want to, you know, optimize something way off in the distance, you guys gotta freaking drive over there and stuff like that. You know, it's a little bit more time consuming, but honestly, it's just really cool. Moving on to our third point in this video, it's an open world game at the end of the day. Like it's a beautiful Unreal 5 open world game that also just happens to be a factory and automation game and a building game all wrapped up into one. And yes, I know the map isn't procedurally generated, so it's gonna be the same one time and time again, but honestly, I do really enjoy that because now when I start up a brand new world, I know where all the main kind of groups of good nodes are, and I just generally know my way around the map. But the first time you boot up this game, it is a very beautiful world full of alien creatures and a bunch of really cool areas to explore. So really, when your factory is up running and stuff in the distance, you guys can be just out exploring different caves, different, you know, cliffs, canyons. It's like you're out here playing freaking Minecraft, but it's a freaking factory game. I realize how many times times I just said frickin' in the last couple sentences, I'm gonna dial it down. So I think you guys get it. It's an open world game. It's really fun, and we're gonna move into our fourth point of this video. There's literally always something to do in Satisfactory. I mean, seriously, think about it. There is always a project to be done, always a new factory to be built, a new building to build, a new thing to optimize, more power to be built. Like, there's just so much stuff that you can always be doing in this game that's a little bit overwhelming, but it's so fun because you're never feeling bored when you're playing the game. Whenever I'm playing the game, there's a whole laundry list in the back of my head of all the different things that I want to build in the world and all the different projects that I want to do. So it's very motivating to continue to play the game and get all these projects done and just keep scaling things up more and more in the future. And coming in at our final and fifth point, the game is just a very laid back game to play if you guys want to make it that way. It's not your Call of Duty first person shooter where you guys have to absolutely lock in. When I play Satisfactory, usually I throw on some tunes, throw on maybe some Netflix or a YouTube video when I'm just kind of going around doing my basic stuff. Of course, when I'm doing my heavy math stuff and kind of calculating everything, I'm not going to be like listening to something. But for the majority of the time, when I'm just sitting around building, moving around the world, I'm watching YouTube, I'm having a good time, I'm relaxing. It's like the most relaxing game that you can play, which is kind of weird because it's a very math heavy game. But in my opinion, it's one of the most laid back, relaxing, and great times that you guys can have in gaming. Yeah, that's my rant video on how good Satisfactory is and why I have over 500 hours in it. I'm assuming a lot of you guys have even more than that. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed this video. If you guys like Satisfactory, make sure to leave a like on the video, comment all your different favorite things about Satisfactory, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys all in the next video very soon. Peace.